You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil, and I'm sitting next to Jeff here. How's it going, Jeff?
I'm doing great. How are you, Neil?
I'm doing pretty good. In the studio today, it's a little empty. It's just you and I in here.
Just the two of us.
So Ken isn't here. He actually decided to go to the Maytag factory and work on the line, fixing everyone's washer and dryers. And if you guys happen to see any stray hairs in your dishes, it's probably from Ken. Hand washing with what's that stuff called? The silver thing that you clean with. It clumps
like
into balls.
Scouring pad?
Yeah, like a
steel wool.
Steel wool. There you go. So
they don't make him wear a beard net.
They don't make him wear a beard net. No.
I thought he was gunning for Colin Ferguson's job.
As the Maytag man, you might be right. Star of Eureka, and that was Matt's voice you heard coming to us from the city of Angels. How's it going, Matt?
It's going great. As always.
And Matt, if possible, one of the future episodes, we'd like you to do the episode from the Angels flight. Ride, not ride. It's an actual form of transportation from the old days, but just Google it. It's pretty cool.
I'll get right on that.
Oh, is that that's like the trolley on an
little
angle?
Trolley? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it from the Angels flight. The reason I'm saying that is because I've binged all of Bosch.
Great show, by the way.
Great show on Amazon Prime, and I've binged all of Bosch, and I've read all of the Mickey Haller books by the same author, Michael Connelly. I'm like on a Michael Connelly. He's like my drug dealer now. So. I'm just like Dave Chappelle on that meme where he's scratching. He's like, y'all got any more of that Michael Connelly? So that's basically me. But we have two very special guests here, and we're excited to introduce them. The first one I'll introduce is going to be Matt's partner today, and that's someone that is one of our good friends over from Scotland. You've heard him. You love him. That is Addy Lewis. How's it going, Addy?
Hey, guys. Thank you very much. I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
Doing well. We heard you were binging some Angel today. What else is new in the world of Addy?
Not a lot's new, really. I'll be looking forward to coming over to Geekbo. As of this recording, it's a week until I go over to Chicago, so I'll be jumping pretty much straight off the plane and going straight to a live quiz with you guys, actually. I think that's the plan.
Should be a good time.
Having this already happened, I'm sure that you guys won first place. Congratulations.
Thank you, Matt. I think Addy was a little surprised that the winner has to streak across the bar. So,
well, there's a second time for everything, I suppose, isn't there?
I just wanted to get tackled by the ref.
Actually.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Addy, for joining us and for also supporting us on Patreon and just being an avid listener. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And also joining us, not from Scotland and very, very much not from London, as we've learned. He is living in Somerset, England, which we've discovered was the shooting location of Hot Fuzz and another favorite of mine, Paddington 2. That is a cruiserweight champion on Patreon, a very, very funny comedian, David Rowe. How's it going, David?
Hi, guys. Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. I do want to say for the record that you put this game together very quickly, and it's a huge compliment to you. We were kind of just talking about maybe having you come on the show, and I think you said, I already have half the game written. So we appreciate that, and for you taking the time. But why don't you tell us and the listeners a little bit about yourself?
So like you said, I'm living in Somerset in England. I do comedy, not professionally or full-time or anything, but it's just one of my many hobbies which will never make me money, such as trivia and listening to you guys, and
join the club.
Yeah, listening to us will definitely not make you money, that's for sure. But
it actually cost me money.
Yeah.
Thanks to Patreon.
100%, Addy.
Patreon.com.
Triviality podcast.
Yes. Well, don't sell yourself short, David. You are very. Sell yourself short, please.
You're selling yourself?
Yeah.
You're removing your outer shell?
Seashores by the seashell shore. Yeah. But yeah, don't sell yourself short. You're very, very funny. And where can people find your comedy anywhere? Are you touring anywhere around England right now?
I sort of took a bit of a break from it for the past 6 months, and I started looking at doing bits of acting and voice acting and stuff like that. So it's something that I'll hopefully be getting back into very shortly, but I don't have any dates at the top of my head at the minute.
Oh, no worries. But people can, I think, look you up, though. David Rowe Comedy, I think, right? And find some videos like I did?
Yeah, on YouTube and Twitter as well. I'm David Rowe Comedy.
Wonderful. Yeah, definitely look up David. His last name is Wroe. He has some very funny bits on there that I was watching before we recorded. But thank you both for joining us today. And Matt and Addie, you're going to be a team, and you've already come up with the team name. What do you got there, Matt?
Well, yeah, I remember when we were flying back from Geek Bowl last time, we couldn't get the Iron Brew through customs, more or less, because it too much liquid. That was the thing.
Really?
Yeah, we had. I think it made your bag weigh too much. There was a whole thing there. But Addie's drinking some Iron Brew today. I'm drinking some Mountain Dew. So we're Iron Brew and Mountain Dew.
That sounds good.
Is that the new formula that Bryan Cranston's been plugging?
Yeah, I think so. Iron Brew and Mountain Dew.
Commercial.
So do I.
That's really good.
We enjoyed Iron Brew in the studio on one of the episodes. I can't remember which number it is, but I was very. It was almost like I was drunk after drinking it. I was in a haze. And Jeff and I today were talking a little bit about philosophy while we were getting some lunch, and and we were also talking about the show Cheer on Netflix, which is very, very captivating. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people do not respect cheerleaders, and it being a sport. Colleen was a cheerleader and kind of hurt her body several times. It's a hard sport, but we were talking about cheerleading. We were talking about philosophy, so we're going to be Immanuel Kant even. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
that. So let's throw it over to the voiceover guy who's going to be doing an impression of David, doing an impression of the rules guy. Let's see how that sounds.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
What do you think, David? How was that accent?
Oh, it was spot on, I think. Yeah, he's really been practicing.
All right.
I thought it was more of a London accent, actually.
Yeah, a little too.
It sounded like he'd been watching Hot Fuzz and getting it right.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't too posh.
So South London.
Yeah. All right. Well, David, feel free to take it away. You're at the wheel.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So number 1 is Uncle John from Jamaica. And the question is, UK company P&O are best known for providing what sort of holidays?
All right, yeah, we're locked in over here at Immanuel Kant even. So how about you guys start?
Yeah, I know this one straight up, fortunately. P&O are a ferry company, so the kind of holiday they do is they do cruises.
Ooh, that makes us feel good over here. We figured when he said holiday and Jamaica was in the subject, we thought it's got to be a cruise.
Yeah, it is. It's cruises. I'm surprised that the subject of the question gave it away, because they would just fit little quips that I threw in at the end. They weren't supposed to be clues, but I'm glad they worked out as such.
Well, it wasn't a clue to me in any way whatsoever.
Well, after doing so many episodes of trivia now, we're sort of cursed that we think everything is a clue when most of the time it is not.
Cool. So question 2 is it's what's inside that counts. And the question is, in what part of the body are most blood cells produced?
All right, so they're locked in over there at Iron Brew and Mountain Dew. You're saying maybe bone marrow?
I feel like that makes something.
Okay, and you're saying blood cells aren't created in the heart?
No, that's just a pump.
Okay, so that's the Vanderpump of the body, and it rules.
Can't even some days.
I have no idea. So if you're kind of bringing bone marrow to the table, then so 1, I'm buying, and 2, we're going to use that as our answer.
In the bones?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying?
The Jimmy Bones marrow. Yeah, we're going to like him with bone marrow.
Okay. We just talked about the heart, remembering that that's actually just pumping the blood. So I said liver. I think it might be the liver. I know people have issue with clotting. So a lot of times it's the liver. So we said that.
So one of you is getting points. It is in the bones, and specifically the bone marrow.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice,
maybe I would have never gotten there, so I don't feel bad.
I don't think I would have got. I was thinking various organs. I wouldn't have necessarily gone to the bones.
Yep.
3 generations of nurses in my family, but as I've said to them many times, I am not one of them.
Yeah, 10 seasons later, I still don't care about bones.
No bones about it.
Hey, Addy says he's watching Angel, not Bones, right? So he's Angel to him.
It's Borealis.
Yeah.
Okay, question 3, which I've not written a little quip for, which is my bad. But question 3, and I will probably butcher some of this pronunciation, so please do bear with me. We have, in which city that was founded in 1541 would you find the Palacio de la Moneda and the Centro Gabriela Mistral Museum? I would protest about giving you more clues, as I haven't wrapped up warm enough.
What city? I mean, you got...
Palazzo sounds Italian.
Yeah, it sounds Italian. And then Gabriella, something sounds Italian as well.
Mistral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Spanish, though, right? Like Spain?
Well, when I was thinking about protest, I was thinking about Barcelona, but...
Palazzo. Yeah, I like Barcelona. Do you want to go with it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, your gut's been right so far.
Okay.
Yeah, the clue in the question about being wrapped up warm enough definitely points to Chile. The time period, 1540s, points to South America anyway. If we're going Chile, do we just go for the obvious one and say the capital, say Santiago?
Yeah, we're going to go Santiago.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to throw this to Jeff because you had a decent avenue on this one.
Yeah, we thought this was maybe a Spanish-speaking country. We didn't think of Chile as being wrapped up warm enough, but we know there was some recent protesting in Barcelona, so we guessed Barcelona.
Okay, so again, one of you is getting points. If there ever is an opportunity for a horribly bad pun, I'm going to take it. So, wrapped up warm enough was Chile, and it is Santiago.
Makes sense.
There you go.
Hey, excellent.
That totally makes sense. I didn't even think of it
Good
that way.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, I'm jumping on a bandwagon that I've seen a few people do, and it's going to be Dave Drama's a Hit. So I'll be doing a dramatic reading of a hit song, and I just need you to name the song and the artist. And for bonus points, I would like to know where the song peaked in the Billboard Top 100.
Okay.
So the song goes, now, I can see we're falling apart from the way it used to be. No matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me.
So Jeff and I are going to lock in because you're speaking to Jeff here.
Yeah, Jeff's a big fan of the band.
But yeah, we're locked in.
Oh, I mean, I know it.
So you guys are locked in?
Yeah.
Do you know the position?
I have no
missionary.
idea. This me and music don't go well together.
Well, because you don't know this, you're now going to be required to do it at karaoke on Thursday night. This is definitely "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys, and I think it peaked at number 2, is what I would say.
Now that you say that, I absolutely know that's the correct answer. Yes. I used to go to. I was a golf in my my student days, and funnily enough, at the end of the night, there would usually be the last song would usually for some reason end up being a song by a boy band. Seeing 100+ golfs all doing like Backstreet Boys or Five or Take That dance and doing the dances in perfect sync, like it was a Take That concert, is quite something.
Okay, so yeah, that was our lock-in. What did you guys have?
We weren't too sure on the Billboard placement, so we said 3 for that one. But it is, of course, Backstreet Boys, "I Want It That Way." And to be more specific, to maybe make up those bonus points we missed, that would actually be Kevin's only verse in that song. So that's what we said.
No, nothing for that.
So yeah, no, nothing for that. But it is "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys. It peaked, which surprised me. It only peaked at number 6 in the US charts, Billboard Top 100, I believe. Yeah.
I can't imagine the 5 songs are better than that song.
We have to figure this out. We'll have to do it at intermission, and we'll let the listeners know to see what songs bested that one.
Okay. So number 5, we've got the title "Let's Get Feddy to Rumble," and your question is: which U.S. federal law enforcement agency can trace its origins back to 1772, when Benjamin Franklin appointed the first surveyor, meaning that theoretically its origins, at least, are older than the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. itself?
It's that was a National Treasure. They talked about it. Federal agency. Is it the Secret Service? Like existed before
Secret Service came around during Lincoln. He signed it into law, I think, right before he was assassinated. Because they were originally to try and stop counterfeiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and this is what did he say? 1772.
Yeah.
Federal agency. So surveyors. Oh, so he specifically said law enforcement. I didn't even actually hear that.
Coast Guard?
That makes sense because it would have been ships.
They would survey the land from the
that
sea,
makes sense.
right?
I mean, yeah, that makes sense because it was a.
That'd be interesting if it was like the oldest branch of the military.
Well, let's just go Coast Guard because we don't really know.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, so me and Addie were talking. We quickly ruled out FBI, CIA, anything like that. And then Addie said the ATF, which is interesting because you would think maybe you'd want to get that started as soon as possible. And I agreed, so that's what we locked in with.
That does make a lot of sense. We were trying to pull our Benjamin Franklin Gates, or sorry. Anyway, National Treasure, but we couldn't. So we don't think this is considered a law enforcement agency, but we thought, from the water, you might survey the land. So we said the Coast Guard. Okay, so I think, Addy, you were getting close to this one because you were going along the right lines. I think they had something to do with tobacco and alcohol at some point. But it was the United States Postal Inspection Service.
I thought about that, but that didn't click.
Yeah, I always forget that they have that law enforcement wing.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't there like a Saturday morning kids show
the
about
cartoon.
That? We talked about this on another show. But no, it's a live action show.
The Inspectors or whatever it is.
Yeah. And they have guns and that no one needs. Yeah, the Inspectors, that's what it's called. So after 5, it looks like Emmanuel Kant-Even has 30 points. And what about you over at Iron Brew and Mountain Dew?
Also 30 points.
All right, tight game. Let's keep it going, David.
Okay, no problem. So question 6 is That 80s Show. And your question is, which 80s CBS show in its 6-year run was responsible for 6 consecutive Emmys for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Show and 12 nominations for the same award? No other show has matched it for wins in this award, and only Murder, She Wrote has matched it for nominations.
Dallas? No.
Oh, maybe, oh my God, what's on my tongue? Dynasty?
Oh, Dynasty.
That was the 2 women, they had the fight when they went in the pool, and it was...
I like that.
Suzanne Collins, I think. I can't remember her name, but that's the author. But
that was a big thing.
Yeah. That could be it. Let's go that.
Let's try it.
It's very 80s. Okay.
Yeah, we're saying we think it's possibly one of these sort of detective shows, sort of someone and someone. If the show ran for 6 years, 6 wins, 12 nominations, obviously 2 nominations for leading actress.
Yeah, so Cagney and Lacey makes the most sense. I think we're good to lock in on that.
All right, so you're on Cagney and Lacey. We weren't really sure of shows that were in the 80s. We were having a really hard time actually trying to figure that out. And the only one we could think of, and we don't think it's CBS, was Dynasty, possibly, because we knew that there was the famous scene of the 2 actresses kind of fighting. It was very dramatic, and then they went into the pool. It was more soap opera, I think, but we figured we'd try it. So Dynasty.
Dynasty was 80s, though, so that's right, at least.
Okay, so, Addy, you picked up exactly what you were meant to in the question. It ran for 6 years, had 12 nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress, and so you went down the right route, and you got the right answer. It's Cagney and Lacey.
Nice!
Both Cagney and Lacey doing good work.
Okay, question number 7 is titled Bardi Hell, and it is: which colourful Disney character shares his namesake with a less colourful Highness Shakespeare villain who has a penchant for handkerchiefs?
We're locked in over here.
Ooh, you're locked in.
We are not. We are nowhere near it yet.
Correct. Thinking about Shakespeare villains, we got
Shakespeare, Macbeth, Julius Caesar,
nothing there.
Shylock. I could name a decent number of the Shakespeare villains given enough time.
Yeah, I literally have nothing here. I mean, we could say like Dumbo or Disney characters, Bambi. Yeah, we got like literally nothing here.
This is it's a fantastic question, and I'm annoyed that I can't. I'm going to kick myself when I hear it.
Yeah. So we're gonna wave our white handkerchief on this one and see what you guys said, because we got nothing.
This is a very great question. I will say we know that David listens to the show because it is a reference to our show, unless he did it unknowingly. But we've said this one fact a few times, and it took me a minute to get to it. But one of the characters in the Disney film Aladdin is voiced by Gilbert Gottfried, who is named after a villain in Othello, and that is Iago.
Yep, that is exactly right. Colourful because he's a power.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking far more literally.
Okay. Number 8, and this one is titled "It's the one that says bad mother effer on it." And the question is: UFC 244 made history as Jorge Masvidal won a title that wasn't strictly a title. The BMF title was specially created for this much-hyped contest. Jorge won the fight and the belt after a doctor's stoppage, but which fighter, who holds the record for most Fight of the Night bonuses, did he defeat? And at bonus points, which celebrity presented the belt to the winner?
Okay. All right. So just 1 second here, because I know the celebrity. Right. So The Rock presented him with the belt.
Okay.
Shoot, I just watched that clip again because he beats him in like 5 seconds. I don't think it's Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is the guy that has the beef with Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Shoot.
Yeah, I don't follow UFC at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get there. So let's just go, just to keep time. I'm just going to say, we'll say Nate Diaz and get the bonus points for The Rock.
Yeah. Do you want to go with the first with
So
the guy
yeah,
who said the line?
So we're sure it's Nate Diaz, and then we started thinking, or I started talking about Shaft, because he also is a BMF.
Bad mother effer.
Right. So I think we just are going to say Nate Diaz, and for bonus, Samuel Jackson.
I wasn't too sure if Nate Diaz was the correct answer. I knew that he has a beef with Conor McGregor, so we put Nate Diaz because I'm very unsure on that fact. I just watched the clip on Twitter of him winning in 5 seconds or whatever with his knee. But I do know for a fact that the person who gave him the belt was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh.
Okay, yes. So, it was Nate Diaz who he defeated, and it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who handed him the belt.
Wonderful. And how many bonus points is that for, David?
5.
You give him 5. I don't want to do 2s.
Yeah.
All right, sure. We'll take the 5.
Okay, number 9, and this is Link It Up, because I want you to tell me which actor links the following films, and they are Coneheads, The Longest Yard, Grown Ups, and The Week Of.
Okay, so over here at Emmanuel Kant Even, took us a second, but I think we have the correct answer. We'll just go first. We think this is the Rock Man, Chris Rock.
Oh, Chris Rock. So I thought this was actually possibly Adam Sandler, because we were thinking, I think he was in The Longest Yard. I know he was in Grown Ups, and we figured Coneheads was an SNL movie, so it's possible that he was in that too. But I guess Chris Rock fills all those buckets too. So we'll see who's right. We said Adam Sandler.
Okay, so this one, The Longest Yard, Grown Ups, and The Week Of all contain Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, but Coneheads only contains Adam Sandler. So Adam Sandler's the correct answer.
I shouldn't have overthought it. I was thinking like, oh, Adam Sandler, it's way too easy. Go for the other route, and I went Chris Rock. But well played, sir.
I'm really proud that we got both of those right there. It was a coin flip at the end.
Yep.
Okay, number 10 is Fasten Your Seatbelt, and it is the 1993 film The Last Action Hero. Features many action movie tropes, including a memorable car chase sequence. But what sort of car does Arnie's character, Jack Slater, drive during the chase?
So I was telling Jeff, Last Action Hero is like one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies, one of my favorite Arnold movies, and I'm just kind of racking my brain on the make and model of the car. So in the car chase scene, it's when the main character transforms goes through the movie screen. He ends up in Arnie's back seat. He turns off a stick of dynamite, and then they get chased by an ice cream truck, and the ice cream truck is blown up or gets shot at, and like a guy gets an ice cream cone in his head. Anyway, I can't think of the name of the car he drives. It's like a boat. It's gold. It's really wide, and it's convertible. I want to say, I'm really at a loss for words here, but I think maybe it's a GTO because it's like kind of a muscle car. So we're just going to lock in with GTO.
Yeah, we also thought it was probably a American muscle car, and we locked in with Chevy Charger.
Okay, so it was an American muscle car, I believe. I will probably not be able to pronounce the actual model of it because it's not one we have over here. We don't get many of these, but it's a 1969 Pontiac Bonneville or Bonneville.
Bonneville. Well, you were right with Pontiac, Neil.
That's what I said.
Yeah, those cars are boats. You're right, Neil.
I knew it was a Pontiac and I knew it was a boat. I couldn't remember
if it was a GTO or a Bonneville.
Yeah, because it's huge. I mean, it's a huge car. All right. Well, after that great first round of questions from David, it looks like Team Emmanuel Kant Even is at 55 and Iron Brew and Mountain Dew's at 60. What do you have in store for us for the swing round, David?
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting little swing round. It is British and Irish sports teams. So
okay.
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading out the name of sports teams based in either the UK or Ireland. I just need you to tell me what sport they play. Just to clarify, there are going to be 10 different sports, so no sport will be repeated. What I think I'm going to do is read out 2 for each sport. And 1 to 10, your first one is the Wigan Warriors and the Leeds Rhinos. Your second one is Blackburn Rovers and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Your third one, Cardiff Devils and Belfast Giants. Number 4 is Lancashire Lightning and Leicestershire Foxes. Number 5 is Sale Sharks and Bristol Bears. Number 6 is Essex Arrows and London Capitals. Number 7 is Newcastle Eagles and Glasgow Rocks. Number 8 is Manchester Thunder and Surrey Storm. Number 9 is Somerset Rebels and Edinburgh Monarchs. And then number 10 is just Tipperary and Cork.
Okay, we're going to take a look at these and we'll be right back. Looks like the answers are in. So, David, let's go through these one more time and get the answers.
Okay, so number 1 was Wigan Warriors and Leeds Rhinos. So what did you guys have?
We'll start over here. That one we just thought because of the Rhinos, the charging, we thought maybe it's rugby.
I was 100% on that one. That's rugby league. I'm a St. Helens fan myself. But, you didn't name me, and that's definitely rugby league.
That is rugby league. Being a Wigan Warriors man myself, we are arch enemies for life now, unfortunately. Don't worry, just some rugby banter, guys. Don't worry, we've got this. Okay, so number 2, that was Blackburn Rovers and Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, those. I'm pretty sure those are soccer teams.
They are indeed soccer teams. Dare I ask which one of the 2 you support, David?
I'm a Blackburn Rovers fan.
Oh, the silence.
The silence.
They have what? No, I don't particularly follow English football. I do know that they currently have one more Premier League title than Liverpool for the next couple of months.
for about three matches, I think. It won't take them long. I mean, it's going to really hurt me to say this, but it is soccer. Ugh. Ugh. Right, I need to go for a shower now. I feel dirty.
I mean, you can call football. That's fine.
Okay, number 3, we had the Cardiff Devils and the Belfast Giants.
Weren't too sure. We figured in Cardiff you might see the doctor running around quite a bit, but we thought maybe Giants, big guys, rugby players have big muscles, so we said rugby.
Mm-hmm. We also thought Giants would be big guys. We thought maybe they took on some of that NFL Europe that was in the 90s and thought maybe this is American football.
Okay, so it is an American sport. Well, probably more a Canadian sport. It is ice hockey.
See, I told you there's probably an ice hockey in here.
Oh dear.
That's bad news for one of our other answers.
Yep.
Okay, number 4 was Lancashire Lightning and Leicestershire Foxes.
All right, we had no idea on this one, so we decided to go with one of our favorite, not necessarily sports, but pastimes. We said billiards.
The old billiards teams.
Snooker teams.
This is a sport that I didn't know was a sport until Eddie said it out loud, and he said netball.
Okay, so billiards teams normally would be named after a pub, not a county. Addy, you did pick up earlier that a certain sport was normally named after counties. If I'd just read the counties, it would have been too easy. I've read you out the 2020 team name.
Oh,
and it is
that's
cricket.
where there was a question in the competitive quiz fairly recently. It basically asked the name of a weather. It asked for the name of a weather-related team. It was a clue towards Lancashire Lightning. I knew that I knew I'd heard the question. And
there
I
you
heard
go.
the team, and I couldn't pick the sport up.
And just to confirm, that was cricket, David, you said, right?
Cricket, yeah.
Okay, great.
2020 cricket, if you want to be overly specific. So number 5 was Sale Sharks and Bristol Bears.
Yeah, we decided not to play around with this one. We just said we know Sale is probably a place, but because of the Sharks, we just said maybe it's a sailing team.
Oh, I know this one's automatically wrong. My own local ice hockey team is named the Solway Sharks because of the Solway Firth. I know I've heard of the Sale Sharks, but I can't remember what sport they do. But clearly, it is not what we said, which is ice hockey.
No, it's not ice hockey. If it would help you at all, Addy, a famous player from the Wigan Warriors went over to the Sale Sharks called Jason Robinson. They are a rugby union team.
I ruled that out.
Number 6 was the Essex Arrows and the London Capitals.
Yep, this one we know is wrong now. We just said hockey.
This one, I thought arrows sounded kind of like something that you'd have in baseball. I don't know why, just something fast projectile. So we said baseball.
Okay, so the Essex Arrows and the London Capitals, they are baseball teams.
All right.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay, number 7, we had the Newcastle Eagles and Glasgow Rocks.
We thought, what's a sport that's high-flying and rocks? And we said beach volleyball.
Oh, that'd be fun. We weren't sure either and kind of went with something like field hockey.
I lived in Glasgow for 10 years. I know I could rule out a lot, and I couldn't figure out what was actually left.
Okay, Addy, I could feel your frustration as you were doing this. And I'm going to frustrate you even more because this is one of the ones that he ruled out. It's basketball.
Damn it.
Well, that's a little bit of a spoiler for number 8, so let's hear those because you're going to hear why we did not get points.
Okay, number 8 was Manchester Thunder and Surrey Storm.
Yeah, to match the American Thunder, we thought maybe they took the name and it was basketball.
We did exactly the same. We said basketball for that one.
Okay, it's similar-ish to basketball. It is netball. Okay, number 9, we had the Somerset Rebels and the Edinburgh Monarchs.
Yep, this one we didn't really know either, so we just said polo.
running out of sports on this one, but we ended up going with thinking that it's a sport that tends to come up if you're looking for an obscure sport. It's becoming a lot more popular now. We said roller derby.
Okay, so this one, the Somerset Rebels and the Edinburgh Monarchs, they are teams. So they are on wheels. It's 2 wheels because they are speedway teams.
Speedway.
I don't know what any of these things are.
I had it in my head and didn't say it.
I just looked up netball, and it looks like somebody just forgot to put the backboard up. I was
thinking the same thing.
Netball, it does come up in trivia a fair amount. It's 7 players. It's almost entirely played by women. Very seldom played by men for some reason.
Well, I hope to break that mold. In training, starting today.
There you go, Matt.
Matt has now registered the domain U.S. Men's Netball. So
there you go.
Okay, your 10th, and you'll probably be glad to hear your last one of these. It was Tipperary and Cork.
So we thought, what's a sport that's maybe only played in Ireland? Because we think those are both Irish counties, and we said Gaelic football.
I think we said the same thing, but
no, we said we went.
Different thing?
I considered that and decided to just go with a complete stereotypically Irish sport and said hurling.
Okay, so interestingly enough, this is one that I have 2 correct answers for because both these sports are part of the GAA, which I think is the Gaelic Athletics Association. And the correct answers for this, I would accept either Gaelic football or hurling.
Nice. Well, after that fun swing round, it looks like our team over here picked up 3 correct answers, so we're at 70, and Matt and Addie's team is now at 80, so it's still a close game. So let's go right into round 2. We're excited to get some more points here.
Okay, number 11, it's titled Law and Order, and this is a bit wordy and a bit sciencey, so please bear with me. It is, which scientific law is a gas law stating that the pressure and volume of a gas have an inverse relationship? If volume increases, then pressure decreases, and vice versa when the temperature is held constant. When the volume is halved, the pressure is doubled, and if the volume is doubled, the pressure is halved. One mathematical equation to present the law is PV equals K.
Okay, we're going to lock in over here and let you guys talk.
Ooh, you knew all right.
I think, is this Boyle's law? It's that when I hear scientific law and relating to gas.
Yeah, I was going to say I think it starts with a B, and that does start with a B. So.
I think it's Boyle's law.
Okay. Locked in. Science. Dun, dun.
And we said Boyle's law.
Okay, so this one, if you were in France, you would probably know it as Marriotte's law, but it is named after Robert Boyle, Boyle's law.
Hey, right. Good way to start the second round.
Number 12, this is the King's Ransom. In 1810, King George III started a boxing tradition by doing what to bare-knuckle boxer Tom Cribb after he defeated Tom Molyneux?
So Jeff and I were a little unsure. We know that we've gotten this one wrong many times. We said what kind of gesture could have been something that was repeated for years after. And Jeff, what did you say?
We thought maybe this was the first time he held up a boxer's hand triumphantly in victory.
I thought that this was a pre-match ritual, and I thought this was when they're supposed to tap gloves. So I said they touched gloves.
Okay, so they wouldn't have been able to touch gloves. This was back
bare
in the
knuckle
bare-knuckle boxing era.
I'm good.
You guys were very close with holding his hand up. It was something in celebration of the victory, and what he did is he presented him with a belt made of lion skin and decorated with deer claws, and something that Triviality patrons all hold.
That's right. Yeah, we mail everyone a belt made of skin.
Exactly.
I don't have much more room to cut nails.
Human skin, though.
That was a fun discussion with customs.
Okay, number 13. This is capital punishment. And it's quite a short one because it's not really much I can do to drag it out. It is simply, which European country has the capital city of Riga?
Yeah, I know this. We can lock in.
All right.
The length at which Jeff is thinking of this question is punishment.
Where's
it's gonna be a while.
Where's Phil from?
Lithuania.
Is it Lithuania?
Why not?
I feel like it's one of those Baltic.
Maybe. The only word in Lithuanian I know is labas. So
it's either that or Latvia.
How about, in honor of Phil, let's lock in with Lithuania.
All right. What did we say, Eddie?
You're going to kick yourselves because you flipped the coin. You've gone the wrong way. It is Latvia. Lithuania's capital is unfortunately Vilnius.
That's right.
Addy said it best. You flipped the coin the wrong way. It is Latvia.
Right.
Okay, question number 14 is Neil, that's spelled Neil, before Zod, because cheap pun, why not? In 2013, UK citizen Neil McArdle was handed a 12-month prison sentence for taking what drastic action to try and disguise the fact he had forgotten to book his wedding venue?
We are going to lock in.
Oh, locked in.
You're locking in. Okay, yeah, I've got.
Right.
I have got no idea. I don't recall ever having heard about this story.
Yeah, I got next to nothing. So
I've got nothing on it. So you just have to give up on this one.
General fraud.
Yeah.
General fraud. Okay. We discussed a few things just for fun. Jeff said maybe he faked his death. I said maybe he robbed the schedule or calendar so that no one would have a wedding date. But along those same lines, we just thought, if he forgot to book and his wife would be mad at him, we said, well, why didn't he just burn down the venue so no one could have a wedding? So we said he burned it down.
Okay. I like the fact that burning down the entire venue would only give him a 12-month prison. I don't actually know what are some prison sentences here.
We didn't either. We thought it was a little light.
Okay, yeah. So what he did, you sort of caught on to the right ideas. So he wanted to make sure that nobody could have their wedding there, or nobody would there'd be a reason for them to not turn up and him not get found out. And what he did is he rang up and called in a bomb threat.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 15, and this one is titled Kick Off the Sunday Shoes. The original Footloose film is well known for starring Kevin Bacon in the leading role and is a definite favourite of Star-Lord. But which Woody Allen favourite, who would go on to win 2 supporting actress Oscars for films under his direction, played the mother of Spacey's love interest, Ariel Moore?
Cool. So I've seen Footloose once on TNT in a hungover afternoon. I've never seen any Woody Allen movies. So what I'm saying is I'm not helpful to this question. Yeah, we got nothing.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Tapping out.
All right, so they have nothing over there. This is an actress that she's a great character actress, and I believe it's Diane Wiest.
Charles Boyle's favorite on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And Boyle's Law. It all comes together.
Okay, so, it is. She won her supporting actress for Hannah and Her Sisters and Bullets Over Broadway, which are both Woody Allen directed films, and she is Diane Wiest. So number 16 is Say Cheese. And it is what sort of cheese originates from a village in Somerset, England, originally matured in local caves. The cheese dates back all the way to the 12th century, as an 1170 pipe roll of King Henry II shows him purchasing 10,240 pounds of the cheese at a farthing per pound.
Yeah, I know this one. Yeah, we can lock in.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, Matt.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jeff, because I don't think we're going to know this one. So this is what we're going to do. We're only going to take 10 seconds. Just name, I'm going to go back and forth. We're just going to name cheeses, and we'll see which one feels the best. Okay, ready? Brie.
Munster.
Swiss.
Cheddar.
Mozzarella.
Oh. Colby.
Parmesan. What's another English cheese?
I don't know any English cheeses, do I?
Mexican blend.
Mexican. Cojita. Let's go Brie. We're going to lock in with Brie.
Yeah, funnily enough, you guys actually said the correct answer in your random list of cheeses. It is, in fact, cheddar, which is which comes from some, which I knew. I had a feeling that was going to be a question in this quiz because I knew because I know that there's a village called Cheddar in Somerset.
Yeah, it's probably the only thing that Somerset is famous for is, we invented cheese pretty much. So,
good on you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to us. And yeah, the correct answer was cheddar, just to clarify. So I don't think I said that, but I agreed. Cool. So, 17. And the question is, what sort of animal can be either New World or Old World and has species such as king, turkey, bearded and Egyptian? Whilst flying, they would be a kettle. Whilst resting, they would be a committee. But whilst feeding, they would be awake.
It could be not as pigeon or... I mean, penguin makes sense too, but they don't fly.
Penguins don't fly.
And there are king penguins. That is a type of penguin.
Egyptian penguin seems a little strange.
I know.
Because Antarctic creatures that have a variety from the desert. We could say dragon on the ground. Sometimes dragons fly.
Yeah, sure.
We know a bearded dragon is a thing.
So New World dragons. Here we go.
If I learned anything going to medieval times in a historical context, we just took a guess that they had falcons, so there was falconry, so we said a falcon.
Okay, so one of you is very close, and one of you is really not.
I wonder which one is close.
all I could think of when you're going down the lizard route is just the absolute beauty of what a turkey dragon would be. That is my new favourite animal. But so they're not falcons. They're all species of vultures.
Vultures.
Oh, that makes sense.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
None of the words for describing them, even though I know they're not.
Well, it totally
canon.
makes sense that it's awake when they're...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awake.
They feed off the dead stuff. Yeah.
Feeding off the dead. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes when there's multiple clues, it's harder because then you start latching on to other things and get yourself way away.
Yeah, when there's...
Yeah, so what you're saying is it's my fault.
No. Well, yeah, Matt kind of is, but it's when there's a myriad of MacGuffins, it's always hard.
Number 18 is the agency, and it's in order to form his sports management agency, Rock Nation Sports, Jay-Z had to sell shares that he owned in what sports team?
We can lock in.
Okay.
The only team I know that he's part owner of is the Brooklyn Nets, I believe. Cheer, Brooklyn. But
Knicks and Nets give him high fives.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's the only one I know of, unless he sold this earlier for Rock Nation, because it would have been earlier on. But yeah, we're gonna go Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, you can't be a sports agent in any league where you own a portion of the team. I think there's only 0.5% ownership of it because they wanted him to show up and be kind of the mascot because they were terrible at the time. But I'm almost 100% sure it was the New Jersey / Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. He owns a minuscule amount of the team, but yeah, it was the Nets. Yeah.
Yeah, he originally part of it was he wanted to own part of the Barclays Center because they own part of that too. Because that's where the real money is in a lot of these, is owning the stadium too. But he had to get rid of it, and he's just making a fortune as an agent. So good for him.
Yeah, and I don't think Erin's going to sell her shake in the Barclays Center, so she's holding out for Jay-Z.
100% ownership.
Okay, number 19 is titled "When You Don't Even Try," and it is in a game of rugby union. If one team scored a converted penalty and 2 dropped goals, and the other team scored 2 dropped goals and a converted penalty, what would the final score be?
All right, we're locked in over here.
Oh, you did that really quick. You must know your rugby.
I was going to say it goes one of 2 ways.
What do you know about this, Addie?
Penalty is 3, and I believe a drop goal is 2. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 7-7, right?
Yeah, it's 7-7. I have a horrible feeling there's some sort of trick here in relation to the word converted. But yes, it must be 7. It's the exact same score. It looks like, so it must be 7-7.
Okay.
Well, throughout all of our rugby knowledge, we just figured we would take the actual numbers that Addie was talking about. We would just double them. And so we came up with 14-14.
Okay, so in a game of rugby union, a penalty scores you 3 points, and a drop goal scores you 3 points. To be fair, what you pointed out, Addy, is that I wrote the question wrong. It was supposed to be 2 penalties and 1 drop goal, and then 2 drop goals and 1 penalty, so that it would still be 9 apiece, but you'd be thinking more about.
Well, we got there, and we were wrong.
In fact, why did I think that a drop goal? Of course, a drop goal and a penalty are the same score. I don't even know why I said that. What the drop goals are 2, because I know full well they are both for 3. I don't. That's just sheer stupidity on my part.
So number 20, your last one is called Changing Channels, and the question is, which often referenced TV show, co-created by Dan Gore, won 2 awards at the 2014 Golden Globes, which were Best Television Series and Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series in its relevant category?
Okay, so we kind of just stuck with the oft-referenced. I think it lasted this long, but we weren't sure, but we said The Office.
Okay. We thought maybe it could be The Office, but I don't think Dan Gore was one of the creators. I think it was Daniels and
Greg Daniels.
Yeah, Greg Daniels. But I remember, I'm just going off the awards angle, and I remember when Brooklyn Nine-Nine had its first season, it won the Golden Globe for Best Comedy and Best Actor for Andy Samberg, and that never won any awards after that, because that's how the Golden Globes are. And I think it was about 5 years ago. So we just, on a whim, said Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, so I did get a bit worried about 5 questions ago when I thought you had started picking up on it. So the fact that I say often referenced is simply just throughout this quiz, every single answer has been a reference, some very loosely shoehorned in, but they've all been a reference to the correct answer, which is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah, Boyle, Charles Boyle. I had mentioned even.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have never seen the show, so I...
Wow. That's great. That's awesome. That's why this game is great, David. So before we go to the final round, just to give a score recap, it's very tight. Our team, Emmanuel Kant Even, is at 110. Iron Brew and Mountain Dew is at 120. And before we go to the final round, just a big thank you to both Addie and David for being Patreon supporters, the Cruiserweight level. If you'd like to join them on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. And at each different level, there's many different perks, from posters and character boxes and special recordings if you'd like, and stickers and things like that. So if you'd like to join them, support the show, keep us going, keep us growing, growing and going, and going and growing and going. Yeah, I was trying to go back and forth and it sounds like the same word. Anyway, if you'd like to support us and join them, please go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. And in honor of Patreon, it's going to sponsor these final 5 questions from David. So David, what are the final 5 categories?
So your final wager questions, I took time out of all the smartness of references and that all into that first bit. So they are quite simple, and they are: number 1, Green Arrow; number 2, UK boy bands; number 3, Constantine; number 4, Sean Bean; and number 5, Fallout.
All the wagers are locked in, so let's get to these questions, David.
Okay, no problem. So number 1 is Green Hour, and it is Oliver Queen's superhero alter ego traditionally lives in the fictional city of Star City. However, which real-world city did he relocate to in the Longbow Hunters miniseries and has featured as his home after the New 52 reboot? Number 2 is UK boy bands, and it is which late 90s boy band had 3 UK number 1s with Keep On Moving, Let's Dance, and a version of We Will Rock You with Queen. American listeners might know them best from their song Slam Dunk the Funk, which was made the NBA's theme song in 1998, despite only reaching number 86 in the Billboard charts. Number 3 is Constantine. Exorcist, warlock, and master of the dark arts, John Constantine has found mixed success in mainstream media. The 2005 film received mixed to average reviews, and his live-action TV series was cancelled halfway through. Comic book fans will probably know him best as the lead character of what comic book series? Number 4 is Sean Bean, and it is despite becoming famous for being that guy who dies all the time. Sean Bean first found mainstream success in the UK for portraying the title character in which TV show based on a series of Bernard Cornwell novels, set primarily in the Napoleonic Wars. And then number 5 is Fallout, and it is Bethesda has done pretty well at getting celebrity voice actors in games. Who can forget Sean Bean's appearance in Oblivion and Ron Perlman in Fallout New Vegas? But fans may have been taken aback playing Fallout 3 when they had the voice of which major Hollywood star playing the main character's father, James?
Okay, we're going to take some time to answer these, and we'll be right back. All the answers have been locked in, so let's throw it back to David to hear those questions and reveal the answers.
Okay, so the first one was Green Arrow, and it was Oliver Queen's superhero alter ego, traditionally lived in the fictional Star City. However, which real-world city did he relocate to in the Longbow Hunters miniseries and has featured as his home after the New 52 reboot?
We'll start over here. We wagered 10 all the way down just to keep it simple. We didn't really know this one. I'm not too familiar with Green Arrow other than some of the actors that played him, and I haven't watched the show, but Green Arrow has the word green in his name, and I was like, what city is known for being green, quote unquote? It would be the Emerald City, so we just said Seattle.
That kind of makes sense. We wagered 10. I know that Star City was supposed to be somewhere on the East Coast because it's supposed to be like the either Philadelphia to Gotham's New York or somewhere around there. So we thought maybe he stayed on the coast, wagered 10, and said Baltimore.
Okay, so yeah, it is Seattle. I didn't know any of the other stuff that they said, but yeah, you managed to get there. It was Seattle.
Look at you guys go.
Dumb luck. That's how it always works.
The best kind of luck.
Okay, number 2 was UK boy bands, and it was which late 90s boy band had 3 UK number 1s with Keep On Moving, Let's Dance, and a version of We Will Rock You with Queen. American listeners might know them best from their song Slam Dunk the Funk, which was made the NBA's theme song in 1998, despite only reaching number 86 in the Billboard chart.
Yep. So this one, David had me sweating a little bit because earlier I said, I love UK boy bands. And he said, get ready for a question. This boy band I consider to be the second best use of putting a number in place of a letter, which would be 7, the original one.
Numbers.
Well, numbers in place of a letter. So you have the movie 7.
No, but I mean the word, like the title Numbers.
Yeah, correct. Numbers, correct. Yeah. But 7 would be number 1. But for them, I believe it's the boy band 5, which has the number 5 as their first letter.
Yeah. What did we wager in this one again, Matt? I can't remember.
15.
50. We wagered 15. I do get mixed up on my UK boy bands, kind of the whole clutch of them at the end of the late 90s. But another one that I used to dance to a lot at the end of the night in goth rock clubs. I did know this one. It was 5.
It was 5. They're actually still going now, but there's only 3 of them, and I saw them in concert about a week or 2 ago, which was quite fun.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
So the new band name is Threeve. Now a combination of 3 and 5.
It was me and 3 male friends, and we were the only single males in the entire building. And it was on Valentine's Day as well, actually, so that was weird.
So you had a nice Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number 3 was Constantine, and it was exorcist, warlock, and master of the dark arts, John Constantine, has found mixed success in mainstream media. The 2005 film received mixed to average reviews, and his live-action TV series was cancelled halfway through. Comic book fans will probably know him best as the lead character of what comic book series?
I think I just screwed up. Okay, so I don't know anything about the comics. I do know, so all I'll say is I do know that his comics are called Hellblazer, but I thought David was asking for what group comic he's in, and the only reason I know this answer that we went with is Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make a Justice League dark a movie for forever, which is basically Justice League, but all the characters are really dark Like, that makes total sense when I say it out loud. Anyway, we locked in with Justice League Dark, which I think is incorrect.
Okay, so we wagered 15 on this one. Honestly, not too sure. We didn't really know that much about the Constantine comic. All that stuff about Justice League Dark and Hellraiser sounds right. So we locked in with Hellboy, which is not right.
Okay, yes. So, I was asking for the series that he was lead character of, which was Hellblazer. He was, of course, in Justice League Dark, which I think is probably one of the best DC animated films they've ever done. Absolutely love that. But yeah, the correct answer was Hellblazer.
Sorry, Jeff. I thought he meant group series.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Sorry about any confusion there. Number 4 was Sean Bean, and it was despite becoming famous for being that guy who dies all the time, Sean Bean first found mainstream success in the UK for portraying the title character in which TV show based on a series of Bernard Cornwell novels set primarily in the Napoleonic Wars.
Yep. So again, we wagered 10 on this one. We had no idea. We thought, we'll just name the battle that Napoleon was defeated at, and so we said Waterloo.
By far the one I was most confident on with this one. We wagered 15.
We wagered 20 on this one.
We wagered 20 of this one.
Yeah.
And this is Sharp.
Yep, the series is called Sharp, and it featured Sean Bean surviving an unreal amount of stuff, which is sort of why he ended up dying and everything he did after that, I think. So, yeah, that was Sharp. Number 5 was Fallout, and it was Bethesda has done pretty well at getting celebrity voice actors in games. Who can forget Sean Bean's appearance in Oblivion, Ron Perlman in Fallout New Vegas. But fans may have been taken aback playing Fallout 3 when they heard the voice of which major Hollywood star playing the main character's father, James.
I just got the clue.
Oh, there was a clue. I don't know.
Yeah, we wagered 10 on this one. We thought...
I just got the clue too.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So we figured he's popped up everywhere else. We're just going to go Keanu Reeves.
The clue has just taken me to the right answer. I believe this is what we said anyway, but it's Liam Neeson. We wagered 5.
Yep, you are correct.
Yep.
You may have been taken aback because it was Liam Neeson.
All right. After the final round, our team over here at Emmanuel Kant Even, we lost 10 basically, so we're at 100. But today's cream of the crop with 135 points is Iron Brew and Mountain Dew. Nice game,
Well
gentlemen.
done.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah.
Wow. Hey.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Matt.
Oh, no. Thank you for knowing stuff about anything that isn't in America. I didn't know anything.
You knew about more. You definitely knew more answers than I did today.
Yeah, we'll call it even.
Well, thank you very much, Addie, first of all, for joining us, for indirectly inspiring David to check out the show, become a fan. But thank you very much for taking the time today. We look forward to seeing you here in Chicago
In the
at People
past.
in the
At the
past.
point, yeah.
That's right. He's going to time travel.
I'm
Sure
we had a brilliant time.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it
we
was
did.
great to see you.
Yes,
We
great.
won't talk about the incident. We know what happened. We all know. We're not going to talk about it.
Yep.
That's between you, me, immigration, the police, and
Yeah, Scottie Pippen. You're right.
And David, great game. I know how hard you worked to put this together in the time allotted, and we really appreciate the questions were great. It was so much fun. And anything you'd like to say before we have you sign off?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's been really good finally actually talking to you guys. I've listened to you guys for the past few months, like every day on the way to work, so actually being able to talk back and you actually hear me rather than me just shouting, at strangers in cars, it's brilliant. Yeah,
It's one of my favorite things to do, though.
Yeah, well, we hear everything. We're almost kind of omnipotent. So if you just say something while listening to the podcast, we'll hear it. So anytime someone makes a dig about a bad accent that I do die a little bit inside.
Yeah, my back was like spasming the other day. I must have gotten something wrong on the show.
Yeah, it's like the voodoo doll of podcasting or something. Yeah. Well, thank you, David, for taking the time and also for supporting us on Patreon. For Ken, who is fixing Maytags, we'll see him again soon. But for Matt, Addie, David, Jeff, and myself, that was Triviality. To
answer a question that was brought up earlier, and this is very important, The single for I Want It That Way dropped April 12th. And at that time, April 10th through May 1st, the number one Billboard song of 1999, TLC's No Scrubs.
Ooh, classic.